Apparently, the standard operating procedure inside the Clinton Secretary of State office was to send emails that couldn't otherwise be printed to the maid to print them out of a secure area or from a secure area and then hand them off. Any security professional, military, government or otherwise, would be fired on the spot for this type of conduct and criminally prosecuted for being so reckless with this kind of information. The fact that she wouldn't be held accountable for this, I think, blows the mind of anyone who's held our nation's secrets dear, who's had a top secret clearance like I have and others, who know that even one hiccup causes a problem, let alone a standard procedure like this.
What happened today is an utter and monumental screw-up amidst the highest level operators in the United States government. Let's start with the fact that classified information was being discussed on a Signal chat, not classified means, but a Signal chat that could easily be compromised. Add to that they were using a feature called disappearing messages, which is a violation of U.S. law that even classified information and communications should be preserved for history. This is a quote from the actual article. At 11:44 a.m., the account labeled Pete Hegseth posted in Signal a team update. Now, the author says, "I will not quote from this update or from certain other subsequent texts. The information contained in them, if they had been read by an adversary of the United States, could conceivably have been used to harm American military and intelligence personnel. What I will say, in order to illustrate the shocking recklessness of this Signal conversation, is that the Hegseth post contained operational details of forthcoming strikes on Yemen, including information about targets, weapons the U.S. would be deploying, and attack sequencing. Who was involved in this? The list is outrageous. We have the U.S. National Security Advisor on this text, the head of the CIA, the Secretary of State, the Vice President, the Director of National Intelligence, the Secretary of Defense, the Chief of Staff to the President of the United States, political advisor Stephen Miller, the head of the NSC. This is utterly outrageous, potential violation of U.S. laws, and truly an indication of the unqualified individuals that are leading our nation at this difficult and dangerous time. There must be accountability. I repeat, there must be accountability. Because the questions are, is this the first time they've had such Signal chain conversations? Or is this standard practice amongst the most high-level national security personnel of the Trump administration? Congress must know. The American public must know. So what are you going to do, Republicans who control the House and the Senate? Republicans that I've seen so far have failed to hold one oversight hearing when it comes to serious issues affecting our country. Not one oversight hearing. But if this was a Democratic president that did this, they would be calling immediately for resignations, for criminal investigations, and most certainly there would be congressional hearings. Are you going to give a pass to your president? Are you going to submit yet again to his political pressure and put party before principle, put party before patriotism, to put Trump before the national security interests of the United States of America?
It's Pete. I try not to jump in with a take on everything or comment on everything we see in the news of the day, but what we learned about today is truly incredible. The U.S. Secretary of Defense, the National Security Advisor, the Vice President of the United States, and other very senior, very powerful Trump White House officials, it turns out, discussed highly classified war plans, not only on an unclassified channel, but accidentally and randomly, it seems, including a journalist. And to see this administration claiming that it cares about competence and merit, and then be responsible for an epic fuck-up like this, demonstrates that these are not serious people. I was an intelligence officer for about 7 years in the U.S. Navy Reserve, and I occasionally handled highly classified information during my time in the cabinet as well. It can be hard to explain just how much goes into keeping that information safe. It is only available to people with a security clearance and a need to know. It's only discussed in certain facilities that are hardened to make sure that they don't have the same vulnerability to surveillance as most places. And importantly, you only ever use classified systems to discuss classified information. So America needs answers on why an unclassified, commercially available app was used, and even more importantly, how some of the most powerful people in this country didn't know that they accidentally included a journalist while they were discussing classified war plans that they had yet to authorize and execute. This is not something that's just important for its own sake. I know Americans who lost their lives because of intelligence failures. This kind of intelligence failure calls the question on whether there is any place for merit or competence in this administration at all. Because if there are not highly serious consequences for this level of screw up, then it will make clear that all of the bluster about merit that you hear about from this White House is just bullshit. We deserve so much better than this. It is getting clearer by the day that the people in charge of the American government cannot keep the American people safe. Got to do better.
Boy! Pete Hegseth! Pete Hegseth is your Secretary of Defense, baby!
It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Oh yeah. The Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well, yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John.
Test, test, test. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Give you a big old thumbs up in the chat. Let's see if you guys can hear me. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Chat, can you hear me? Chat, 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 can you hear me? Aaron West gave me some thumbs ups. Thank you so much. All right, it's 9:13 a.m. in the Pacific time zone here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. We're sitting at a temperature right now already 70 degrees. We're supposed to get to 87 today. So warm, warm, warm. Nice and warm. Yeah, Roxanne, everybody, Big Dog, give me a thumbs up. Thank you, guys. Aaron West was first in the chat. Nick Rich, I think, was second, but was like number 6. So make sure you guys hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe. We are still trying to get to 4,000 after all these years. Let's see. Chris Doug is here. Good morning, Chris Doug. And let's see here if this thing will move. James Jaramillo's here. Hey, good to see James. Good to see you. But are you guys feeling safe? Does Sec Def Eggs Breath or whatever his name is just make you feel safe? Something about that guy, huh? Huh? You feeling safe? Not only feeling safe, do you feel cacistocracy? That comes to mind. Why does the word cacistocracy come to mind when we're talking about how this country is being led right now? We are probably, who knows, at our most vulnerable that we've probably ever been with these kistocratics, where, you know, they're just very khaki and kooky. So every day that we survive is another day to rejoice, I guess. Non-useless here says I'm awake, I'm baked, and I'm ready to light or fight for my right to party. I'm awake and I'm baked and I'm ready to flake. Chris Doug says, hit that like. That's right. Do what Chris says. Roxanne Epstein's here. Hello, Roxanne Epstein. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Elizabeth Fernandez is here. Hey, Elizabeth. Good to see you. The Soulcraft. The Soulcraft is here. Soulcraft says, I feel you. 1,000 milligram watermelon felon. The syrup loving this stuff lately. All right. All right. Glad you're feeling good. Chris Doug went to high school with Senator Cory Booker. He's a lawyer, amongst other things. Exhausted Liberal, hello. Good morning to you. Exhausted Liberals here. Only liberal in Kentucky checking in. Just you and Hal Sparks. I mean, he's from there. He doesn't live there anymore. But Tim Farrell's here. Tim, good to see you. Says, hi, gang, driving, but listening. Don't fuck it up, John. Too late. I probably already have. The Soulcraft says, Senator John Ossoff making these chumps look foolish. I saw a little bit of that. He was it Brian Tyler Cohen or somebody had an interview with him. I watched a couple minutes of that. Roxanne Epstein, hi, Nick Rich. Saying hi to Nick. Non-use is going to listen while hunting for morels. What's a morel? I don't know. I don't know what that is. Non-useful Donald Trump quoted this morning, I know nothing. Of course, he's the Sergeant Schultz of presidents. I know nothing. That's his go-to for everything. I don't know. I don't know. Blah, blah, blah. William's here. Hello, William. Good to see you. Hello back at you. Jolie's here. So we got full mod capacity. Aaron and Jolie both here, kicking some butt. Thanks for being here. Bonnie Thompson's in the chat. Good to see Bonnie. Bonnie. Bonnie Thompson says the dumbest villains occupy the White House. Well, thank God they're dumb, because if they were smart, we'd be even more fucked than we are, probably. Roxanne Epstein singing Sugar John live stream theme song. The TJ live stream is the best stream you've ever seen. It's the best stream you've ever seen. There I am at the thumbs ups. Chris Doug, time for a regime change. Now let me tell you a little something. Last night I was driving the taxi cab, and I picked up this young couple. I would say they were probably like 25 years old. Cute little young couple from Canada. And so we're in the car, and because I asked them, so where are you guys from? And they said, Canada. And so I just made a joke. I go, oh, the 51st state. You know, and they laughed. And what they told me, I was quite surprised. So the guy, you know, they're adults, but to me they're kids. But he goes, yeah. He goes, we're all for it. And I was like, really? I thought you guys didn't want that. And he's like, there's a lot of us that do. Okay, so remember, this is a 25-year-old, like a Gen Z or whatever. Just so you know, there's something going on with Gen Zs, man, even in Canada. I don't know what the fuck the deal is. But he goes, yeah, we're all for it. And I was like, wow, really? I didn't. And he goes, yeah, a lot of us are. And I go, really? And he goes, yeah. So then he started talking about taxes. He's like, yeah, it really sucks. He goes, I got to pay 35% of my income to taxes. And I go, and he goes, that's higher than what you guys pay or something like that. And I go, yeah, it's a little higher, I guess, but at least you guys get free healthcare out of it. And so then he started going on and on about how the healthcare sucks. So I know I have a lot of Canadians in the chat, so maybe you guys can, I don't know, you can tell me more about it. But he's like, yeah, the healthcare sucks. You got to wait forever if you need a procedure. He said it's better just to come down to the States and have it done because you don't have to wait. He says there, if you have something that needs to be done, you might not get it for 9 months or a year. So he says it sucks. He goes, what? He goes, what am I paying for? Why am I? He goes, if I'm going to pay all these extra taxes, at least give me some good health care. So hey, the guy that was his experience. That's his point or whatever. So point of view. And the I think they were married or whatever. His girlfriend. She was right, yeah, and she was in a wheelchair, not permanently. I mean, she had hurt her knee, and she had to have some kind of. She I don't know. She blew her knee out or something, and she had crutches, and she had a little brace, and she was in a wheelchair. Just because her knee was fucked up, and she said something about how in Canada, trying to get her knee fixed, like she would go to the doctor, and they wouldn't tell her what's going on, or they would take forever to go from one specialist to another specialist, and she said it's just crazy, it's ridiculous. So they weren't happy. They're not happy about the health care. These two, anyhow. I don't know about the rest of the Canadians here. If there's any, Nick Rich or whatever. If you like your health care, these two kids didn't like it. And then the guy brought up guns, and he goes, so much for being able to arm ourselves and protect ourselves. And I go, I thought Canadians had guns. I thought you guys had lots of guns. He goes, no, they took it all away. He goes, you can't have handguns. And you can only have like a hunting rifle. You can't have rifles over a certain size or whatever. He said what it was. I forget. But he goes, yeah, it's limited. You can have a hunting rifle. It can only be a certain size and no handguns at all. He goes, they took that all away. And I go, wow, I hadn't heard that. And he goes, yeah, that happened like 4 or 5 years ago. And I was like, wow, this is all news to me. I didn't know that you guys. I thought you guys had guns all over the place. He's like, nope, no guns. So this guy, this 25, 26-year-old guy from Canada, is not happy with the health, not happy paying extra taxes for what he said was crappy in health insurance, and that they took all the guns away. So he would love nothing more than to be the 51st state of the United States of America. What do you guys think about that? What do my Canadian friends in the chat think about that? Is it true? Does the healthcare suck? I guess I've been hearing now Trudeau is out, or he's on his way out, and I've been hearing a lot of right wingers here in America talk shit about Trudeau. But that's what they do. They talk shit about anybody who's even the slightest bit liberal. But was this what this was about? Is this why Canadians were against Trudeau now because of the gun thing? Was it? I don't know. What's going on up there, Canada? What's going on in Canada? Christina Wiles here, not feeling safe at all. Tulsi Gabbard is lying to the Senate right now about this. If her lips are moving, she's lying, right? And just everything that comes out of these guys' mouths are lies. Pamela's here. Hey, Pamela. Says, when Pete Buttigieg drops the F-bomb, you know shit is bad. Yeah. Minus Kevin Anderson's here. Hey, minus Kevin. Good to see you. MJ Daniels in the chat. MJ says, hey, MAGA, tell us again about Hillary Clinton email and the Biden crime family. It's all double standards, right? It's okay when they do it. And if we do something that's not even really on the same level, it's really not. It's really a false comparison. But they'll try to, they try to shoehorn it in anyhow. Then it's like, oh God, they're a crime family. Bonnie Thompson got to make an appointment to get back on drugs. Ativan. All right, Bonnie. Well, first of all, thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out with us. Carol Lana's here. Hey, Carol, good to see you. Carol says, howdy all, and no, don't feel safe. Not only one, no classified info, really dumb Hegseth. Chat include name of undercover female CIA officer, so they'd put all that on Fox if hunky dory. Robert Perez, hey, from down San Diego ways here. Hey, Robert, good to see you. Says, top of the morning, Trucker John, and a hearty howdy to all trucklers and sparklers out there. Thank you, Robert. Carolina says, morels are tasty wild mushrooms. Oh. Okay. I thought you were hunting for like some sort of a rodent or an animal or a varmint. Whoever that was doing that. Can't we just call them mushrooms so there's no confusion? I don't know. James Jaramillo says, not true. Petrazi 120 is also from Kentucky. That's my nickname for her. I don't know who that is. Big Dog, hey, the big dog's here. Big Dog NC says, Pickled Pete can't even lie well. Of course, talking about Hegseth, not Buttigieg, right? Chris Doug, U.S. military strategy for annexation of Panama on Instagram Reels yet. Yeah, what's next? What other top secret things are they just going to put out there? Robert Perez, I'm stuck in the house with my 1-year-old tornado in my bedroom. Babysitting again, huh? Carolina, were they really from Canada? Well, they said they're from Canada. I didn't check their ID. I did detect a slight Canadian accent. I had no reason to believe that they were lying to me. I think people are, when you ask them where they're from, I don't know why they would just lead off with a lie, Carolina, 35% tax and free health care and good pensions. Well, according to them, the health care sucks. MJ Daniel, he's a fool. Tell him to live in the USA for a while, and that bullshit. He is either lying or stupid. I don't know. I feel that was his experience. He was talking. He seemed very forthright. Both of them very, sincere. They didn't seem like particularly stupid people. I mean, they didn't seem stupid to me. I don't agree with necessarily what they were saying, but The Soulcraft says they don't realize paying private health care is far more expensive than paying that 36 or 38% tax and being covered. Yeah, I didn't really get into it because it was a short ride and where I took them, but I was thinking and I would have gone into it if we had a longer ride about how down here not everybody gets insurance, especially before the Affordable Care Act. And of course, Republicans have done everything they can to try to gut the Affordable Care Act, ACA, as much as possible. But the ACA helped get tens of millions of more people on healthcare that couldn't normally afford it. And so here it used to be you could get knocked off for anything, right? Pre-existing conditions and all that. ACA put some protections in there, but still you pay a lot of money for insurance premiums to pay these premiums, and then the insurance companies will do everything in their power to not cover you. Hence, Luigi, right? Hey, I'm not for violence. I'm not for gunning people down the streets. But like I said, in the very day that the Luigi committed his crime against the United Healthcare CEO, I said I find it very hard to muster up any type of sympathy or sadness for this man. I just couldn't feel. I felt like he got what he kind of got what he deserved. But I also said it was wrong what he did, what Luigi did. I'm not gonna say that murder is right, but I gotta say I felt very little sympathy or empathy or sadness. Carolina, that's not true about healthcare in Canada. I had friends from Canada. They disputed that fallacy. Well, I'm just telling you, this is the guy. This is what he said, and his wife or girlfriend. I didn't get. I don't get that intrusive. Hey, are you guys married or are you just shacking up? She had an issue with her knee going on. She hurt her knee, and she was dealing with the healthcare system in Canada directly. It's not like it was just they're just talking about something that they heard. I think that they were dealing directly with the system. Jolie says simple doctor appointments where I live take a couple months to get. Seeing a specialist 6-month wait. See there? Nick Rich says specialists don't cost extra here, just cosmetic stuff. MJ Dan, you must come from a wealthy family. Only people who do not have to pay for anything or worry about money talk like this. He sounds like an idiot. Chris Doug says this is an age-old bullshit story about Canadian healthcare system. It is not fact-based. Canadians have to purchase medical travel insurance to protect themselves when they visit the U.S. Nick Rich, nobody needs handguns. But the fact is that he was upset about that. That's apparently, he's upset about the fact that they took away everyone's right to have a handgun. The Soulcraft says you have to show cause for handguns and renew your license annually, I think. You think, but do you know? Because this guy was saying that about 4 years ago, they made it where no handguns. And only certain rifles of a certain caliber. You can't go over a certain caliber, apparently. Did I say rifles for the second part? No handguns And then rifles, long rifles, only of a certain caliber or less. Roxanne Epstein says, no doubt, Kegzeth, Pickled Pete, Pab, Pa was drunk before and after. Bonnie Thompson, who needs guns when you have a moose in the neighborhood? That might be exactly why you need guns. I don't know. Have you seen a fucking moose? They're fucking huge. The Soulcraft says the UK is the same. Big Dog says that healthcare sucks BS was probably started by U.S. healthcare firms. I'm telling you, okay, the guy says that he was from Canada, lives in Canada, had a Canadian accent. So I don't think he was getting, I think this was firsthand stuff or whatever. Yeah, this wasn't something he was getting from U.S. healthcare firms. Nick Rich says, we vote for the next government before the end of April, no long campaigns. I know, that's what I wish we would do here. I hate this. It seems like just one continuous campaign, like it never fucking ends. We never get a break. Chris Doug says, this is anti-socialized medicine propaganda perpetrated by the neocons since Reagan. All right, I'm just telling you, this was from a Canadian. I will ask, and I get Canadians all the time. They come down here all the time. Every day I get Canadians in my cabs. I'm just going to start asking them. We will get to the bottom of this. You guys seem to think that this guy that I had was not really a Canadian. They're not going to lie to me. If I say, where are you guys from? They're not going to say Canada, and they're really from fucking, I don't know, Italy or something. I mean, why the fuck would you lie? Unless you're, afraid someone's going to find out where you're from. I don't know. Big Dog, yay, my fuck Trump flag is out for delivery just in time for the next protest. Hey, Marsha. Marsha's here. Good to see you. Marsha. Good to see you. MJ Daniel says, not to mention all of the insulting things they said about our allies in Europe. This nation has never been more unsafe. Yeah, we're unsafe. We are burning bridges that we've had created since World War II at least, and even before that. You're talking about like France, for instance. They were our allies before we were even a country. They helped us win the revolution against England. Do you think Donald Trump even knows that? Hey, look, I'm no scholar. I'm no historical scholar. But I bet you I know more in my little pinky finger than Donald Trump knows in his big, fat, orange, bloated fucking body. And I'm not. I'm nothing. Chris Doug, $4.99. Excuse me. A $4.99 hachu. I will hachu. Thank you, Chris Doug. $4.99 super chat sticker. I get. I don't know which one's which, but thank you, Chris Doug. Yippee! We've made the goal. Super sticker goal. Thank you so much. It says goal achieved. Thank you there, Chris Doug, for that. Carolina says, I agree. MJ Daniel, we burned the bridge on our allies. And it's a shame. Because I think it has really helped keep world peace. I know there's been wars, of course. But as far as like having a big world war like World War II, we've pretty much averted that up to this point. Who knows what's going to happen now? I mean, this is no way to live, folks. There's no way to live. AM's here. Hello, TJ and Loungers. Hey, AM, good to see you. Welcome to the Driver's Lounge. Chris Duck, free speech? Absolutely. Just sensitive military data? No. No. How about no? Yeah, how about no on that one? Nick Rich, the official timekeeper of the Trucker John live stream. is checking in at 9:30 a.m. So that means I am 8 minutes behind you. A mere 8 minutes behind the chat. Chris, Big Dog. I'm combining names here. Big Doug. Big Dog NC says that Chris Doug. I love how the one guy said this was just an example of how transparent this administration is. That's some serious spin. That is. They're so transparent. We're going to give away all our methods and tactics, you know. That is some serious spin. You're right about that, Big Dog. And they get away with this shit. That's the thing that gets me. They get away with it. What the fuck, man? Anthony Ruminiak is here. Hey, Anthony, good to see you. Says there are a lot of people who could become a Luigi because of their experience with insurance companies. Just saying. That's why Luigi is getting so much. He's getting empathy or and support. And you know what? I don't advocate for violence. I'm not for murder, but I am kind of on board with being vocal about supporting this guy, just to send a message to these fucking healthcare companies, health insurance companies. That's why we should be supporting Luigi. Put the fucking fear of God in these goddamn motherfuckers. I'm not calling for actual violence, but hey, since this guy went ahead and did that, and they were scared when they saw how much support he was getting. They're like, oh my God, one of our guys was just murdered. Everyone should be on our side now. Everyone should be saying how bad they feel about us or about our guy here, our CEO. But no, almost immediately, the first reactions were like, yeah, motherfucker, you got what you deserved. And this was before they caught him. Everyone's like, yeah, I hope he gets away. So what does that tell you about the health insurance industry in this country? It tells you that they're hated by most people in this country. And deservedly so, because we have story after story after story of people being denied claims and therefore denied procedures that are life-saving, and people lose their lives. Those are the ones that we're sympathetic towards and who we feel bad for. So when one of your pricks gets it, we have no sympathy. We have no sympathies to give. Nick Rich says finding a Canadian that's traveling in the USA currently takes no heed to the warnings from sensible sources. Some Canucks have already been held by ICE. Nick, I get Canadians in my cab every single night. Canadians come down here to vacation, to get away from it all. And I've had Canadians that I know are anti-Trump, and I've had them in there that I know are pro-Trump, just by, and it's not like an overt thing. It's just through having conversations, you just know. But I would say the majority of the Canadians are very, very upset with Trump, though. I will say that, and mainly about all these fucking tariffs and shit. That's the main issue. The thing about the 51st state, they know that's just stupid trolling and bullshit, but it's the tariffs that they're mainly upset about. MJ Daniel, I get the Luigi thing. I am going through problems with my back pain and insurance, but go after the real problem. The GOP vote in Democrats. The GOP vote in Democrats and get better care. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, of course. But people don't vote. That's the problem. And the ones that do vote are voting for these, keep voting for fucking Republicans. That's the problem. That's been the problem since Reagan. Music says the U.S. healthcare system is much better if you have money. If you can't afford it, Canada's healthcare system is much better. MJ Daniel, as far as I know, you can buy handguns in Canada, but the process is very strict. Christina Weibel says, I'm on United Healthcare Community Services in Florida. It's been cut to the point where they are only paying for my medications. Nick Rich says, no war weapons for the general population keeps us friendly. Kimchi's here. Hey, Kimchi, good to see you. Thanks for joining us here in the Driver's Lounge. Haven't seen Kimchi in a while. So thanks for hanging out with us. Roxanne Epstein says, going to go spy on the great horned owl baby in the hawk nest in tree behind my house with binoculars. Be right back. That sounds like a fun thing to do. Yeah, there's Kimchi. Hello, hugs back at you. AM, I wonder if France will ask for the Statue of Liberty. I think they did, or somebody that kind of made the rounds a couple weeks ago. I guess it was, I don't know if it was just a joke or whatever, but I think it was like, yeah, France wants their Statue of Liberty back. Bonnie Thompson says, repo the Statue of Liberty. Soulcraft says, Trump is fundamentally dumb because he has no intellectual curiosity. It's all performance for the sake of ego, as shallow as human that's ever been conceived. I look at Trump and his whole, cabinet. I mean, they're all so despicable. There's really nothing redeeming about any of them. And the guy, what's the marble mouth guy who's doing the, all the ICE stuff and the deportations? What's that motherfucker's name? When I look at him, I literally just flash back to whatever I know about World War II and the Nazis. That guy, if that guy were alive in Nazi Germany in 1935 and 1940, he would have been right there, right next to fucking Hitler. He would have been Hitler's right-hand man. In the chat, tell me his name. The guy he's all marble mouth, and he's doing all the deportations and shit. That motherfucker is a straight up Nazi. I don't give a fuck what he would say to that. Holman, yes. Motherfucking Nazi. Look at him. The way he talks, the way he acts. He would have fit right in with Hitler's Nazi Germany. And he would have been right in Hitler's ear. And that's what he's doing with Trump. Feeding him all this Nazi bullshit. Nick Rich, no excuse for murder ever. I know. I'm not excusing the murder. I'm just saying I have no sympathy whatsoever for that CEO. I really don't. Karma's a bitch, as I always like to say. Karma's a real bitch. And I think that motherfucker got a really heavy dose of karma. I don't advocate for murder. I do not. I'm just saying. Chris Doug says, I do not condone violence or murder, but I understand how someone can snap after being denied the medical care they need and deserve so healthily. And it's not just one person. This isn't just a one-person thing. Obviously, when you have practically the whole nation not really show one shred of sadness or grief or empathy or sympathy or whatever for this man that was murdered, that should tell you something. That speaks volumes as to how fucked up the healthcare industry is, the healthcare insurance industry. Insurance. Let me emphasize that the insurance industry is so fucked up and evil to the point of being evil. It's one thing to be fucked up, like they're just fucked up, but they're not just fucked up. They're fucking evil because they're doing shit that is getting people killed. They're doing shit that makes people die. They can't get the care they need, so they die. And this has been going on for decades and decades and decades, and in large numbers. So if that doesn't tell Washington, D.C. that they need to start listening to the people instead of the goddamn lobbyists, then I don't know what will ever get them to do that. James Jaramillo, Marsh ACL is still stretched. Talking about James' knee issues. Barney Thompson is a longer story about the origins of Trump supposedly wanting to annex Canada and Greenland. Elon Musk put that idea in his head. These guys, Elon Musk, the Holman, Stephen Miller, all these motherfuckers, they are straight up fucking Nazis. We have what's running this country, the fucking Nazi Party. The Nazi Party is running America right now. We are being run by the Nazis. Don't fucking get it. Don't twist it. It's nothing else. It's nothing more than that. We are being governed and taken over by the Nazis. Have taken over America. We are a Nazi country now because of Trump and Musk, people like Holman, Stephen Miller. They're all a bunch of straight up fucking Nazis. So welcome to, would this be the Fourth Reich? Because we're in it. Midas Kevin says people don't vote, then they complain when they get what they didn't want. Yeah. It's the FAFO. Fuck around and find out. I don't know why I gotta find out. I did the right thing. I voted for Democrats my entire fucking life. I've never voted for a scumbag Republican, because they're all scumbags, in my fucking life. Why do I gotta pay for this shit? Why do I gotta find out? Well, because that's just the way it goes. What happened to the big fucking blue wave? What happened? I mean, what happened to the fucking Rovember? Kind of upset with the women out there. There was supposed to be a big Rovember. I know I'll probably take a lot of heat for that statement. I thought Rovember was really going to save the day last November. I thought last November was going to be Rovember. What the fuck happened with that? I guess y'all don't really care about your bodily autonomy, do you? MJ Daniel says right-wing MAGA type lunatics are trying to take over the Canadian government too, and that will make things worse. That is what these assholes do. That was from MJ Daniel. Christina Weibel says, thank you, John, for reading my comment. I spent hours on the phone. I had a doctor's appointment today. Yeah, that sucks. You got to spend hours on the fucking phone, you know? Holman. Holman, whatever it is, we know who I'm talking about. Straight up fucking Nazi. If there's one thing that Indiana Jones should teach us all, is that Nazis are bad. If the whole Indiana Jones thing should teach us anything, is that Nazis are bad. We don't like Nazis. Okay? The only good Nazi is a dead Nazi, as far as I'm concerned. Chris Doug says Holman is drunk like Hegseth. Nick Rich, never trust a fascist. Soulcraft says Miller is so over the top, my skin gets red just hearing his voice. Yeah, he says some really wild shit, you know. And he says it so confidently. It's just weird. AM says this is why voting at local levels is so important. Big Dog, he says Stephen Miller equals Timo Joseph Goebbels. Dick MacGyver Anderson, getting a little trolling in, says, it looks like, I don't know, let me read it. Says, interesting how you think voting for Democrats your entire life wasn't part of what brought us here. Well, let's see. How was me voting for Jimmy Carter, which he lost in 1980 and Reagan won? How does my voting for Carter bring us here? Okay. How does my voting for Bill Clinton get us here? How does my voting for what's his face? Gore. I mean, you're just an idiot. You know, Carter lost, Gore lost, Kamala Harris lost. If I had voted for Reagan and for Bush and for Trump, that would somehow make us not where we are now. Chris Stuck says, remember again and again, 36% of eligible voters forfeited their primary civil right, primary civil right, and did not vote in the last presidential election. What the fuck than FAFO? Well, I think it's both. It's like, it is definitely what the fuck. It's definitely a shake my head moment. I'm shaking my head right now. The people not voting, I'm shaking my head. What the fuck? It is a what the fuck thing, but it's also, now it's FAFO. James Jaramillo says it didn't end well for Hitler. Hopefully this will turn out the same. And yeah, I don't think it's going to turn out well for them. I'm just kind of concerned, like, how much damage in the meantime, I guess. And can we try to limit the damage as much as possible? I hope we don't have to go through a world war or a complete civil war or whatever to rid us of this this scourge. But, you know, I guess we'll do what we got to do. Dick MacGyver Anderson, there hasn't been a left wing in this country for decades, and you think voting for Democrats means you don't have blood on your hands. Why would I have blood on my hands? You don't make any sense. You're an idiot. You're just showing your typical right wing stupidity. I have no blood on my hands. The Republicans have plenty of blood on their hands. You fuck nut. The Republicans are fucking war criminals, you motherfucker. Fuck you. Why does Kevin said, Anderson says, Trump and his mouth happened last November. Kamala said everything right, but oh, Kamala was black. Why listen to her? Yes, racism and misogyny won the day, I guess, in November. Big Hook, white supremacy, billionaire oligarchy strategy, take over and divide up America amongst themselves, Project 2025, battle plans implemented day by day. We either step up now or lose everything, protest. Hey, Big Hook, thanks for being here, by the way. Yeah, resist. Resist. We need to be in the resist movement and protest. Do these things where you don't buy anything on certain days. Do all that shit. Dick McIver Anderson, Homan is evil Nazi scum. So what side are you on, motherfucker? Make up your mind. Search for you. Hi, guys. I was listening to something else and didn't see the notification. Happy to be here. Jeebus, these stupid repubs. Hey, search for you. Thanks for being here, by the way. Good to see you. Andy USA is here. Hey, Andy. Good to see you. The Soulcraft says, I thought Harris and Walz were killing it with rallies at the end. That's why I'm still suspicious of the Musk thing. I think there should be a full and complete audit of the whole thing, even if it doesn't amount to like it's not going to reverse, the election, but there should be a full audit. There should be a full accounting. We should know exactly what happened instead, because right now we all kind of speculate. I heard this. I heard that. I'm suspicious about this. I'm suspicious about that. There should be just a complete audit, and so we know exactly where the failures were, what the if there was cheating, if there was overturning any, or overturning votes, or not counting votes, or getting rid of ballots, all that kind of stuff. We need a complete and full workup on that, because and so we can get that out. The American people deserve to at least know exactly how they got screwed. And then hopefully, in the hope of not repeating it, that would be the hope, Christina Weibel, I refuse to pay for another insurance, and I have to wait a year to get Medicare. And hopefully it'll be there when you get it, because who knows, right? At the rate that they're doing this. William says, hard to believe Stephen Miller is Jewish. Yeah, just the self-hating Jew, I guess. Barney Thompson says, I feel bad for people with mental health issues. It's especially hard now for all of us. Absolutely. It's hard for all of us. Even if we don't have mental health issues, I feel like I'm getting one from Trump. I guess that's the Trump deranged syndrome. He's given it to me. The Soulcraft says, best years by far were Clinton and Obama years by numbers alone. Well, that's the way it always is. Republicans get in, they fuck everything up. They fuck up the economy, mainly. And they always make you feel like, oh, your rights are being taken away, or they do take away rights. They strip away rights. They fuck up the economy. They bankrupt us, and the Democrats get in, clean it all up, do a great job, and then I don't know, people get complacent, or they believe right-wing propaganda. They either don't vote or they vote for Republicans. And fuck you to that one fucking asshole. The blood is on your hands. It's on the Republicans' hands. That certainly has been the pattern since I've been voting in 1980. Nick Rich, official timekeeper of the Drug Draw live stream, 10 a.m. in Vegas. I'm 5 minutes behind you, Nick. Says John's caught up, but no, now I'm 5 minutes behind. Soulcraft says he must have blocked me because I don't see those crazy comments. I don't know if he's in here. I don't know if one of the mods bounced him out or what, but anyhow. Bonnie Thompson drinking hot cocoa in bed and hanging with my kitty. Oh, that sounds nice. That sounds like a nice time, a nice relaxing time. You know, we all need that. We all need those little breaks, right? So if you could have some hot cocoa and you're snuggling with your kitty, do it. Take advantage of that time. Mad Max here, hey, Slava Ukraini, Mad Mac, right back at you. Search for You says, you reckon Pete Hedgehog is back on the sauce? I don't think he was ever off the sauce to begin with. I don't think he ever stopped. Big Hook, the Big Canuck says a certain percentage of America is selfish, racist, with belief that they are privileged because of skin color and generations of home indoctrination of supremacy. Hate is taught and is education lacking. I do believe that hate is taught and racism is taught and learned, I guess. Learned, taught, whatever. Because how many times do we see little kids that are like in kindergarten, in first grade, black and white, brown, whatever, all these different, colors and races or whatever, ethnicities, just getting along, having a great old time. And somewhere along the line, by the time they're in junior high or middle school or whatever, things kind of change. If something happens to some of them, not all of them, I mean, but to some, and that's it's sad. Chris Doug says the editor of the National Review has urged Trump to terminate Pete Hegseth and Mike Waltz for egregious, careless incompetence. Now, I have heard that the shit is hitting the fan on this. Regardless of Trump coming out and saying, I don't know anything, I don't know. I know nothing. In spite of that, I've seen some articles about how the shit is hitting the fan about this. And so this might get Hegseth fired. I don't know. And I don't think it's because Trump really gives a fuck about what he did, but he might give a fuck about the shitstorm that it's causing. So we'll see how that plays out, I guess. Big Dog says, cats just brought in another snake. This one is only a foot long. They love to bring me presents. At least it's not another bird. I know, cats, they do that. They'll bring a dead mouse. They'll bring a dead bird. The snakes would freak me out more than anything, probably. AM says, these MAGA cults have no other choice but to troll us because they can't get a reaction from their own cult. Bonnie Thompson says, I'm kidding about the bad cat. They love you by bringing gifts. Yeah, they're very loving that way. Christina Weibel says, earlier this morning in another chat from the channel called the House Clerk channel on YouTube, I had a person tell me it was my fault about my Medicaid being cut. Blame the victim, I guess. I don't know. I don't know how. I mean, if you didn't vote for Trump and you voted for Kamala Harris, and now your Medicaid is being threatened, I don't know how that could be your fault. The people who voted for Trump, that's the fault, and the people who didn't vote, that's where the fault lies. I mean, if you didn't vote at all and you let Trump win, then you're to blame. Not you, but those people. Minus Kevin Anderson says Trump knows nothing because he wishes he had a brain. The thing is, Trump thinks. I think Trump thinks that he, I think he knows that he's not like the smartest in terms of book smarts or being an expert in certain things, but I think he thinks he's gotten away with so much stuff that he thinks that he can like outmaneuver everybody and outthink everybody. Like I think he really thinks that he's like good on his feet, and he's like this like kind of like street kid, even though he grew up very wealthy. But he is the slimy slumlord who's been getting away with being a slumlord for 50 years. And so that gives him this confidence that he can just keep doing whatever he wants because he knows how to maneuver his way around things, or he knows how to get through things or whatever. And maybe he's right because he's not sitting in prison where he should be. He's not one day in prison. Chris Doug says Trump will throw anyone and everyone under the bus. He is surrounded by incompetent sycophants that he can blame anything that goes wrong on. Marcia says, Big Hook. I'm sure you've heard it before. I apologize for this horrendous administration. Canada rocks. Nick Rich says, I don't know, poop hits the gears. I guess that's supposed to be like a fan. James Armino says Trump is a lying MF. He knows exactly what's going on. I agree with that. Big Hook says Democrats have the ability of introspection of themselves, which allows them to grow. Same can be said of the Republicans. Same, or maybe cannot be said. I don't know. No town hall appearances to face their constituents is evidence of this. So I think it was same cannot be said. Yeah, they're chicken shits. Plain and simple. Trump is the biggest chicken shit of them all. Right? Am I right? Didn't I have a depiction? Trump right there? Trump is a chicken. He's a big chicken. He's an actual chicken. Look at there. He's actually a chicken. That's really what he looks like without his orange makeup. Right there. Tuata 106. Hey, the smooth sounds of Tuata 106 is in the chat. Hey, good to see Tuata 106. I give 0 fucks for the Nimrods who regret voting for Trump. As do I. As do I. There he is. There's our SecDef. Look at there. Accidentally texts his war plans to the editor of the Atlantic. So we've got a chicken shit president, and we got that dumb shit over there. MJ Daniel, quoting some Rush, free will. If you choose not to decide, you still have made a choice. Goes for voting too. And I always thought that was kind of what they were talking about. But Big Hook says, no worries, Marsha, but we're going to cut off the maple syrup until you guys come to your senses. No, please, no. Not the maple syrup. Ian Precious, come to Europe. It's great. XX. I'd love to go to Europe. I don't know if I'd want to move there permanently, but I would love to go and visit. MJ Daniel says that this is why Musk is a douche. Have access to the entire government to target Democratic voters. I hope Musk goes down in flames, metaphorically. I hope to God the Tesla stock just keeps tanking and tanking and tanking, and just completely crashes. And I hope he goes completely broke. I hate that motherfucker. I hate Elon Musk almost as much as I hate Trump. And the sad thing about it is I still think the Model Y and the Model 3 are very good cars. Very good electric vehicles. But fuck them. Fuck them. Fuck the whole company. Minus Kevin Anderson says, oh, John, he'll be good on his feet when Trump destroys everything, and then he gets sick, says, help me. Then they'll say, what? Nick Rich, Sugar John is getting better at reading emojis. I guess so. I guess. A happy face thumbs up to you. How's that? Laughing approval. Is that what those emojis? Does that mean you have laughing approval? Thumbs up would be approval, right? Or agreement. Laughing agreement. Or happy agreement. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too literal. Ian Precious, I'm not eating those eggs. I just bought some eggs yesterday or 2 days ago. I did some shopping. I know it's expensive. I got a $7.99 for a dozen, cage-free, large grade A eggs, I guess. That's expensive. Just wasn't that long ago. I don't know, 6 months ago. I think I was getting them for $4.99, and I remember people were saying that was too high. At $4.99, I'm getting them for $7.99, $8. How much are you guys paying for your eggs? I'm just curious because sometimes you hear people saying they're $15 or $20 for a dozen. I'm paying $8, which is expensive. Apparently, the $5 I was paying 6 months ago was too expensive. People were saying that was too high. But under Biden, they were $4.99. Under Trump, it's $7.99. Almost doubled under Trump. Bonnie Thompson says Tesla stock is dropping today. I think it's dropping every day. I hope it just drops all the way down to zero. I hope it goes into the negatives. Minus Kevin says, yeah, if you voted for Trump, then you go, what the fuck? All we can say is told you. The Soulcraft says, the stars aren't aligned or the gods are maligned. Blame is better to give than receive. Nick Rich says, Tesla swastikas suck bigly. All I can say is I drove the Model 3 for almost 2 years. Probably the favorite car I've ever driven in my life. Other than my 59 El Camino when I was in high school, that we dropped a 327 Chevy V8 into it and put a Hurst 3-speed shifter on the floor. Took the shifter off the column, put a Hurst 3-speed transmission and shifter. Well, the transmission wasn't Hurst, but you know what I mean. Down on the floor. Big Hook says every day Trump is incompetence on display. This isolationist bullshit is how the brainwashing is ramped up. The only way to make yourself and others visible is to protest loud and every day. Vote, vote. And the protests are going on all over the country. And that's good to see. They're protesting not only like Tesla, but they're protesting the Trump administration. And they are holding, where Republicans are too chicken shit to hold town halls, they're holding them without them. And they have cardboard, stand-up cardboard things of that representative. I think that's great. And then, of course, we've got the Bernie Sanders AOC Fight Oligarchy tour. It's not fighting oligarchy, and it's not, because I've heard people, right, they'll be showing a video of AOC or Bernie at the podium, and right in front of the podium is a big sign that says Fight Oligarchy. It's not the fighting oligarchy, and it's not, and what somebody else say, they called it Stop Oligarchy. It's not the Stop Oligarchy, it's the Fight Oligarchy. Okay, God damn it! It says it's right there in front of the thing. Anyhow, but they're doing a great job. They're getting crowds that they've never even got before. Bernie, who ran for president twice, and got really big crowds. I remember, that was all in the news about how big Bernie's crowds were, and now he's even getting bigger crowds because he's drawing in not just Democrats, but he's getting Republicans, and he's getting independents, who are non-affiliated. He's getting people who are genuinely upset with what's going on in this Trump administration. And that's how we win, is by coming together. That's how we're going to beat Trump. Really, we need to come together. We need to get as many from the other side to join us as we can. And that's how we'll win. Gino Maynard says $9 eggs, Northern California. Christina Weibel, $7 where I am. Big Dog, my eggs are free from my farmer friend. Just have to wash the poop and feathers off. Bonnie Thompson, I buy jumbo eggs, $4.79 a dozen today. That's a really good price, I think, for these times. Nick Rich, Tesla has no use for Elmo anymore if they want to survive. If they don't want the company to go completely kaput, they need to oust Elmo. Absolutely. Chris Doug says local supermarket has 30 eggs, a 30 egg flat for $12.99. Look at there, 30 of them. That's a good price. Seems like. MJ Daniel, we had a 71, I think, El Camino. My favorite in high school was our 79 Type LT Camaro. Only had a 308 and 2-barrel carb, but it could fly. Yeah, those Camaros. They were little hot rods. Marsha says, too much to go into here, but I'm 99% sure I won't receive my Social Security and SSI in April. It sucks being as disabled as I am and only being given 12 days to adhere to this fucking BS to prove I'm me. See, that I know that is the hurt that this hateful motherfucker is imposing. Both Musk and Trump are evil motherfuckers, and you need no further proof or evidence than what's going on with Social Security and making people have to go and show and prove who they are and all this horse shit. The system was working really good. Social Security has been working really good for decades and decades. There was no reason for them to go in and pander with it. Pander? Whatever. Fuck with it. Other than their just cruelty. Total cruelty. But this is going to backfire on them too. Because how many of these retirees that live in places like the Villages in Florida are on Social Security? Who do you think they're going to vote for if they stop getting Social Security checks? I can't see how this does not backfire on them. And I guess the only reason why they don't care is because maybe they think that they're going to be able to just do a total fucking takeover of the country. I mean, a total coup. So it won't matter. Maybe they're banking on that and making this a total dictatorship. And if there is an election, it's going to be like the kind in Russia where 99% of the vote goes to Putin. I mean, that's the only thing I can think of that they think that they're going to be able to do that. Kevin Anderson says Trump may be 78, but in his mind, his next birthday, he'll be 6 years old. I can't believe Trump is only 78. He looks way older than that to me. I don't know. AM, I'm paying $11 for 18 eggs. James Jaramillo, some jackass was saying Tesla stock was soaring. Well, that's what they do. They lie. They just straight up lie. Tesla stock has been steadily tanking. Big Hook, DeJoy finally resigned as Trump is going to privatize the USP service. USPS. If things are not expensive now, just wait till you lose your postal service. Same with I guess Social Security, telephone lines, and offices. Detroit quit. They do have a board of governors. They will appoint. I mean, Trump might put somebody up, but the board of governors are the ones that will vote for that. The board of governors is Republican majority, so they'll put in whoever Trump wants. But in order to make the U.S. Postal Service private, I mean, it is already, and I know there was talk on this last night on Liberal Dan Show. It's a federal agency, but it's off budget, meaning that no tax dollars go to supporting it. It's all self-supporting. It's all the budget it gets, it's all from postage rates, from selling stamps and whatever, you know, rates they charge for shipping. That's how they survive. So I don't know what Trump can do. You can see what they're doing to Social Security and Medicare and to all these agencies. You know how they're killing it by taking away funding for them, for like, right. That's how they're effectively trying to kill some of these other programs. But the U.S. Postal Service is self-funded. There is no funding to take away from the Postal Service. It's all generated from the sale of stamps. So I guess they could find some way to stop selling stamps. Maybe. I don't know. And as far as like privatizing it, you would have to do a constitutional amendment, which I'm not saying is impossible, because they do have the majority, and they do have the majority of states when it comes to ratification. But I'm just saying it's a little more difficult than gutting the VA, for instance, where you can just fire 80,000 employees and you can block funding or stop funding it or whatever. You know, that's how they're going to kill those type of programs. But the Postal Service is self-funded. I was a postal worker for 12 years. Now, I'm not an expert in all things postal, but I was a postal worker for 12 years. And I was a union shop steward. And I ran for president and lost very narrowly. And if they had instant runoff, which is what I was advocating, this is back in the 90s, I was advocating for an instant runoff. And I couldn't get the support on that because not enough people really knew about it. And it is kind of hard to explain it, but it really makes sense that if you don't have someone win by a majority vote, then you have an instant runoff system in place, so you don't have to do like a whole new election. But we didn't have that in place, and so the guy who won, who was the incumbent, a longtime incumbent, he won, but with a minority of the vote. And I came in second, just a few hundred votes behind him. And I'm very, very confident if we'd had instant runoff voting, I would have won. But we had about, I think, 4 or 5 people running for president. At least we had 5. One may have dropped out, so maybe it was down to 4. And so the 3 challengers we diluted the vote. We kind of split our vote up a little bit. But I did come in second, and like I said, I think I lost by, I don't know, 200 votes or something, which is pretty close, because we were in a pretty big local, San Fernando Valley local. We had all the San Fernando Valley. We had Thousand Oaks. I don't know. You guys are from California. You're not going to know what I'm talking about, but it's a pretty big local. Lots of members, thousands and thousands of members. And if we'd had instant runoff voting, I would have been the president of the local. Anyhow, I'm not an expert, and I've forgotten a lot of shit. This is 30 years ago, so I forget a lot of shit about it. But I do know that it's all self-funded. It's off budget. There are no tax dollars that go towards the Postal Service. So that will make it harder. And plus, it is in the Constitution to have a post office. So those things makes it harder. I'm not saying it's impossible for them to privatize. It's just going to be a harder row to hoe, so to speak. A much harder row to hoe than, say, gutting the VA or gutting Medicare. Those things are on budget. And all they got to do is starve it of money, and they can kill it. Anyhow, Roxanne Evers absolutely agrees 100%. Thank you, Roxanne. Stephanie B2. Hey, Stephanie. Good to see you. Stephanie says they closed our local office in a city of over 370,000 people. Was that the Social Security office? Social Security office. Oh, yeah, Social Security office. Christina Weibel, class action lawsuit. Yeah, see, like Marsha, has no family, hasn't driven in 6 years, no picture ID, can't find your birth certificate. It's going to take me at least a month to fight this out. I'm beyond pissed and panic. Yeah, see, that's the type of people that are going to get hurt. The people that are in Marsha's situation are going to get hurt. And there's a lot of people like that, probably. And this just shows the cruelty of Elon Musk and Donald Trump. And don't let them tell you anything different. These motherfuckers are cruel. They're sociopaths. They're fucking sick-ass sociopaths. Because they don't give a fuck about anything or anyone other than themselves. Big Hook says Musk is making false accusations of fraud against the senior population. It's eugenics based on Musk's belief that old people are worthless, sociopathic, and psychopath behavior in effect. I just said that pretty much. Mentally ill. So what is Elon Musk going to do? I guess that's why they're always about trying to find immortality or something. Because, Musk isn't getting any younger. What's going to happen when he's old? Is he going to suddenly be like, oh, wait, old people are cool? John Schultz says, again, you can get your birth certificate at the town hall, the city hall that you were born. I think all you will need, I don't remember what proof, but I've done it before. Okay, so what if you don't live near the town hall where you were born and you don't have the transportation, you don't have the means to get there? Currently, just as an example, I do have a copy of my birth certificate with me, but in my files, but if I needed to get it and I had to go to my hometown or where I was born, I'm like, what, 250 miles away or more? Almost 300 miles away? I guess if I started walking today, maybe by Christmas I'd be there. I don't know. Non-useless says, listen up, folks. If you haven't done it yet, I advise you to go onto SSA website and sign up. That's how it's going to be under privatization. Big Dog gifted 1 Trucker John membership. Thank you, Big Dog. NC. Yippee! Thank you so much for that support. I do appreciate it. And look at that. Brooklyn, New York 471. This is the lucky recipient. Where are you, Brooklyn? Haven't seen you today. Maybe there's a good old Brooklyn in here. Come on, Brooklyn. What are you kidding me? What are you kidding me? Where are you, Brooklyn? Midas Kevin says, Aaron, I told Jolie you must be a Terminator. You told her I'll be back. I'll be back. Hasta la vista, baby. That was horrible. Marcia says, not yet, Christina Weibel. I am hoping I don't dread every day. The home health and checks my mail. James Williams, only third world countries don't have a public mail system. These motherfucking oligarchs, yeah, they want everything. They want to grab everything. Whether it's our postal service, whether it's our Social Security, they sure as fuck don't want Medicare for all. Fuck them. We need to stand up and say fuck them. Fuck these assholes. Stop voting for Republicans, God damn it. And stop not voting. God damn it. John Schultz, look up. The post office has to have 73 years of pension. 73 years of pension. Yeah, that's been in effect for a long, long time. I think that may have been in effect when I worked there in the late 90s. And we've been bitching about it ever since. And it's onerous. It's not fair. It's not right. No other industry or company in the country or probably in the world has to do that. Only the Postal Service. And they did it. They did it for one reason and one reason only, and that was to try to bankrupt the Postal Service. Because if it wasn't for that, they would be operating in the black instead of in the red every year. If it wasn't for that 73-year thing or 70-year, whatever it is, you're absolutely right. And that's the one thing that they've done to really try to hurt the Postal Service. But the Postal Service is still going, it's still chugging along. They even put DeJoy in there, and even with what he's done, it's still chugging along. Mr. Bob Newell's here. I can't hear you. Christina Weibel, Social Security always sends a letter if your benefits will be interrupted. I have all my letters I've received from Social going back years. Mr. Bob Newell, did you eat breakfast? I did. Thank you for asking. Roxanne Arnold, I had to get my birth certificate from the state. A few years ago, I forget, I had to get my birth certificate when I was getting into trucking, so that'd be over 20 years ago, 25 years ago, or 20-something years ago. I had to get my birth certificate, and I couldn't find my original one. Or the original one I had, I don't know. It was more ceremonial. It wasn't like official or something. So I remember I had to go and get an actual copy of it, but I lived out in the desert where I was born was down in the city, but it was basically the same county. And so all I had to do, they have a county office up in the desert where I lived, and I just had to go there. I didn't have to go all the way down to my birthplace. And it just did it. They just, I guess I went to the office and put in the request, and then I think they just mailed it to me. And that was like 20 some odd years ago. Mr. Bob Newell, why does everyone hate Trump? Well, just rewind the show from the beginning and maybe you'll get an idea. Non-Useful says Trump administration wants everyone to pay for a post office box rather than have mail carriers. Just another one of the many brilliant ideas of Donald Trump. How many maggots run to their mailbox every day, because they probably don't have direct deposit, or whatever, to get their Social Security check or whatever. I mean, you know what I mean? Or to get their coupons or something. I don't know. And now they're going to have to fire up the old jalopy and run into town to check their post office box that they're paying, I don't know, $12 a month for, or whatever it is. Yeah. How many of those motherfuckers are going to be happy about that? And if they are, but then the sad thing is, okay, they're going to be pissed off about it, but they'll probably end up blaming Biden or something for it. That's how fucking stupid they are. Big Hook, the fucking around and finding out is now going to be borne by those least able to survive cuts. Respect your elders is now gone based on a racist vote, which now means that poor suffer more. James William, how has privatization worked out so far? Menace Kevin, troll alert, Bob Newell. Bob Newell is kind of a troll. Bob Newell has been here a lot. For a long time. Bob Newell is one I can put up with Bob Newell. Jason Meal, French toast and hash browns for lunch here in a bit. Man, you're making me hungry now. I love me some French toast and hash browns, by the way. See, Bob Newell, Trump is our God King. Bob Newell I think, is being sarcastic. That's sarcasm, folks. Don't get all bent out of shape over it, over some sarcasm. Now, John Schultz, on the other hand, I don't know. Let's see what John, who spells his name with a P. So I don't know, Jafon Schultz. I don't know. Says, all right, I guess I'm out here. Wait, I'm out here. If anybody is interested, the 73 years of pension that post office has to maintain is why it never makes a profit. I've already said that. I already said that. We've discussed it. What more do you want me to say? Yes, I know, and I've known it since the day that was enacted. What am I supposed to do? Carry a fucking sign around my front? Yes, we know. The 73-year pension fund is what, you know what onerous means? I said it's onerous. And I said if it wasn't for that, they would be in the black instead of the red. I already said all of that. Were you not listening? You're the one not listening. I said all of that shit. Rewind the fucking video. I said it 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago. Learn how to spell your John right, for God's sakes. Then maybe we'll talk. Mad Max says, if you watch the Porsche emblem spin around like on the hub of a Porsche wheel, you see the swastika. True. Look it up. Numerous YouTube channels. Wow, I've never done that. Non-useless says no morels. It needs a few more days of warm weather. Big Hook says, so Trump is asking SCOTUS to enforce his firing of all the civil service cuts despite the orders of other federal judges to reinstate and rehire. Jeopardy if SCOTUS goes along with Trump and Musk. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Jolie says, Trucker John has channel membership, super chats. You can support the show by liking, subscribing, and sharing, or by buying me a coffee over there on that link there. Thank you very much, Jolie, putting that up. James Williams says, do not forget for a second Putin has his troll farms working overtime to save Trump. He knows it's over, but just can't stop. Yep. Non-Museful says the Conservative Party rigged the 73-year pension. Marsha says, thank you, Trucker John, and everybody for the support. I'm trying to stay level and positive. It's really hard to do. It's hard, I know. And yeah, you got to survive this. You get through it the best you can, one day at a time, 1 minute at a time. It's tough. It's going to be so tough for you and for millions of Americans, for all of us. It's going to be some tough sledding here. We just got to hang on, get to the other end. Non-Useful says Trump is America's Hitler. And as I said earlier, maybe when you were out hunting for morels, I was saying that we are governed by the Nazi Party now. The Nazi Party has taken over America. Because Trump and Musk and Miller and Holman and all those motherfuckers, they're all a bunch of Nazis. I said that 45 minutes ago. Pam J, hello all you nice truckers. Hi John. Hello Pam J, good to see you. Thanks for joining us here in the Driver's Lounge. I appreciate you being here. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share. Let's get to 4,000 subscriptions. That would be awesome. Wouldn't that be awesome? Did I tell you guys? Let me remind you guys of the challenge, or I guess you call it a challenge, but what I'll do when we get to 4,000. Do you guys remember? Put in the chat if you remember what will happen when we get to 4,000 subscribers. There's something that I have to do. Do you guys remember? Non-Useful says there was one confirmed case of polio in the United States in 2022, and I have a feeling that you're going to post something about how polio is making a comeback because of all the non-vaxxer and bullshit asshole dumbasses. Christina Weibel says, I won't use the debit card that Social Security has given out. It's easily hacked. Had it happen to me in 2008, I have my own bank account for direct deposit of my Social Security checks. I didn't even know they had a debit card for Social Security. Big Hook, everything you take for granted will soon become self-evident once all the civil service is cut. The Reagan wet dream is coming to fruition. Like I said, it's all going to backfire because the maggots they're the biggest recipients of benefits and government programs than anybody. It's going to affect them the most. So the only thing I can figure is that Trump and his Nazi party, they don't give a fuck because they think they're just going to pull off a coup, a total and complete coup, and make this some other country. This will not be the United States of America. This will be the Nazi states of America or something. It'll be a total dictatorship. There will be no constitution. They are going to tear it up and shred it. There will be no Congress. It will only be Trump. That's what they want. That's what they're counting on. That's why they don't give a fuck about the repercussions. They do not, because they're planning a complete and total takeover. Kimchi, sorry, my handyman here fixing the turlet. Don't be sorry. You should be happy because a good working toilet, it makes for a happy household. That's what I always say. Chris Duck says, may I remind all the MAGA and trolls that this is the Trucker John live stream. Both John and his supporters are not going to change to suit your warped Trump ideology ever. Joey, eat a dandelion. See, Joey knows at 4,000 subscribers, I will eat a dandelion live on the live stream. Who doesn't want to see that? So let's get me to 4,000. Let's get to 4K. 4K all the way. Non-useful. Hello, all peeps. I am too high to write everyone. Mad Max says, TJ, you cannot make sense to those maggots. They are synced to repeat what Orange Felon says. They have no reasoning or intelligence of their own. They can barely turn oxygen into carbon dioxide. Mad Matt getting all scientific on us. Nick Rich says, mushroom, 10,000 subs. Mushroom, pointing at mushroom at 10,000 subs. I'm trying to decipher the emoji. how you would read it. So I guess it means at 10,000 subs, eat a mushroom. Approval, approval, or happiness. I don't know. Bonnie Tom says, "Yep, MAGAs are Social Security and SNAP." So those are the base. That's Trump's base. Apparently, Trump doesn't give a fuck if he pisses off his base because he has no plans of ever giving up power and no plans of continuing on as a constitutional democratic republic. His plans are to just continue on as a complete dictatorship. Whether or not he's going to be able to do that, I don't think he will. I don't think he'll be able to pull it off, but that's what he's trying for. Otherwise, why would you alienate your fucking base? Big Hook, this Republican libertarian madness is leading to chaos. It's like a self-induced purge movie come to life. This is the result of misinformation amongst those raised on right-wing radio and Fox News. All that shit has come home to roost. For sure. AM, you will eat a dandelion. Yes. At 4,000 subscribers, I'll eat a dandelion right here live on this live stream. Well, not this one, but the one that we'll be doing at that time. But on this channel. You know what I mean? Yeah, everyone's saying dandelion. Yes, you guys remembered. So let's get me to 4,000. If you want to see me eat a dandelion, 10,000, I could go for that. I guess they would have to use the magic kind of mushroom. Or should I just get a package of mushrooms then at Albertsons? You want me to eat that? Well, whatever. We're getting ahead of ourselves. Let's concentrate on the 4,000 first. And then see if we can get to 10K. Kimchi, yes, it says mushrooms with meat. That's right. Mushrooms with kimchi. I guess you forgot about me. Never kimchi. And of course, I doubt kimchi is going to come all the way to Vegas to just eat regular mushrooms. That would be silly. Guess we'd have to get the magical kind. But no, I would never forget kimchi. Yes, at 10K, kimchi's flying out to Vegas, and we're going to eat some magic shrooms. We're going to be shrooming. I haven't shroomed in over 40 years probably, since I did anything like that. I hope it doesn't kill me after all this time. I don't know. Mad Mac, I truly believe the orange rapist is trying to screw up the USA so much that he can declare martial law and really become king. I think you're onto something, Mad Mac. I think you're onto something. James Williams says Trump plans haven't changed since Putin put him in the office in the White House in 2016. He said if he was elected, no one would have to vote again. What the fuck? Non-useful, my magic mushrooms are almost ready in the bathroom window. She came in through the bathroom window. Oh yeah. She came in through the bathroom window. Chris Doug, I am still planning on eating an entire box of fudge if you hit 4,000. I may need to ride to the ER afterwards. Wow, Chris Doug with his own little separate celebration. How will you all be celebrating when we get to 4K? Now, I'll be doing the Dandelion Challenge. Is anybody else out there planning their own special celebration? Chris Doug eating a box of fudge. This makes me curious. What else will y'all be doing? Let me know in the chat. I am interested in knowing about this stuff. Bonnie Thompson says, I've been having lentil tacos a lot lately. The secret is taco sauce makes them edible. Or eatable. Eatable, edible, whatever. Lentil tacos. What's a lentil? Is that like some type of lagoon? Some sort of a bean? I don't know. You know what I think makes it eatable? Is cheese. Just load that motherfucker up with cheese. Stuff it full of cheese. How else do you think I eat broccoli? You just drown that shit in cheese, man. Tawada 106 says we ducked one king, we can do it again. Absolutely. Goddamn right. Goddamn right, Tawada 106. We dumped one king, we'll fucking do it again. Marie Jan Greco, I shroomed last summer. Good times, good times. Good times, good times. And the USA don't like the mushrooms. Toronto 106, hey, I'm not saying the Beatles are a crummy band. I just think they're overrated. Why, Toronto 106? Why are you stirring shit? Why would you come in here and all of a sudden, out of left field, you're gonna start that shit? The Beatles are the greatest band in the history of fucking rock and roll. Okay? Period. End of story. Please, you do not want to fucking come in here with that. Please. Whoops. I have lots of respect for you. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it now. James Jaramino says, last time I shroomed, I was sick as a dog for a week. Never again. Hey, look, I'm willing to bite the bullet if we get to 10K. I'm willing to take my chances if we get to 10K. Soulcraft says they have the ketchup and hot sauce now too. I don't know who you're talking about. Ketchup and hot sauce have been out for a long time. So, Mad Mac, are the shrooms most potent when they're little, or does that just apply to poisonous snakes? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a shroom expert. Maybe Kimchi. I will defer to Kimchi on that subject. WW's here. WW 2106. We all fall in love with our childhood music. Beatles. No one tops the Beatles. I'm sorry. WW. I still can't help but love the Beatles. Hey, look at there. Me and WW was some sort of agreement. Look at there. See? Who says that? You can't find an agreement somewhere. Roxanne Epstein says, I only shroom at music festivals. Why wouldn't you? You know? Kimchi says, last trip was 1997 before second marriage and only offspring. Wow. So Kimchi's been a while for Kimchi also. Mine was like in actually over 40 years. I think my last time was like 1982 or something. Jesus, how long is that? That's a long time ago. I have no idea what Soulcraft is talking. Soulcraft. I have no idea what Soulcraft was talking about. So I don't think I'm even going to read that post. It just went right over my head. Woof. Mr. Spock, live long and prosper over there in Saskatchewan? No, wherever you're from. Mr. Spock says the Ruddles are a better band. Oh, please. Come on. It's not even true. Roxanne Epstein better be no shit talking about the Grateful Dead up in here. I'm a big time Deadhead. You and Jolie. And yes, Dead and Company is back at the Sphere right now. The Soulcraft says Blue Azure are my faves. They're twice as strong as. I don't know if you're talking about shrooms or what. I guess I don't know. I didn't even know they had different names. Bonnie Thompson, is anyone a Badfinger fan? I love the Badfinger, the big hits, and I think their biggest hit was written by Paul McCartney. Going back to the Beatle connection. Roxanne Epstein, almost my whole lifetime ago. Almost, TJ. Yeah, see there, that's how old I am. I did stuff that's longer ago than some of you were even born. Big Hook says Michael Pollan did a Netflix special on the psychedelics. It's worth watching. Treatment of PTSD is progressy. It's progressy. Kim Chi at Midas, I will try to live up to the high bar you have set. You can come to LV, you know. I must have skipped down. Did I skip? What did Kevin say? Yeah. Midas Kim says, I have one question. Can you trip like I do? Can you trip like I do? Big Hook. Progressing. I like progressing. I kind of like progressing. It's progressing. It's like psychedelics. They're progressing. Yeah, I like that. Psychedelics? They're progressing. It has a ring to it, you know? Big autocorrect is my bane. Mine too. I think I've just learned to live with it. Like I used to try to go back and correct, put an asterisk and correct. Now I'm just like, they'll know. They'll know that it's a typo. They'll know it was autocorrect. They will. By they, I mean whoever reads the post. We've all been around. It's happened to all of us so many times that I think we all know that it was autocorrect coming in and trying to save the day, but failing miserably. Marsha says, I'd be afraid to try any psychedelics at my age for my PTSD. I remember when I was young, a youngin', and the last trip was freakishly bad. Chris Doug says, Dirty Joke Alert, what's the difference between a chickpea and a lentil? Trump would never pay for a lentil on his face. Ba-da-bum. Yeah, that's a good one. That's actually a good one, I think. I like that one. I think it's kind of funny. Made me chuckle. Gave me a little chuckle. Yeah. What's so goddamn funny? You think this is funny? You think this shit is funny? Here we are all hanging on by a thread, and you guys think you can just, I don't know, shroom, get wasted? Is that where we're at? Is that what we're doing? We're just gonna tune out, turn on, tune out? Is that where we're going? Timothy Leary? Oh, well, actually, it sounds like a good idea, but let's not tune out too much or too long, because we need to fight. We need to be in this fight. I'm in it. to win it. Resist. Yes, I'm the new face of the resistance. Tough Cookie. That's right. I need. Where's my AR? It's gonna be me against the world, I guess. I don't know. All right, you guys you can tune out, tune on, turn on, turn out, tune in, whatever it is. What did Leary say? I don't even remember what that fucker said. But still be ready for the fight. We're gonna need everyone. We're gonna need everyone topside, as they say. All right, we're gonna need all hands on deck. We need it. All right, yeah, you guys got it. All hands on deck. We're gonna have a big fight in front of us here. So, I guess right now, smoke them if you got them, but just remember, gotta be ready for what's coming up. All right. All right. Hey, what's this do? Wow, look at that. Question mark. Hey, yeah, guys. I don't know what to say. Trucker John was talking about some scary shit today, I think. About coups and Nazi party taking over. And post office. That's a scary one. Just hang in there, guys. Just hang in there. I'm with you guys. I'm with you. Let's hang in there. Do the best we can, day by day. Resist. If there's something going on in your town, a protest, go and protest peacefully. Make a nice, funny sign that says something like, Musk is a fudge packer. I don't know nothing against that, but you know what I mean. Something. I'm just on the cuff here. That was on the cuff. So, but go to an event, go to a town hall. Even if you're a Republican, if you're living in a Republican district or something, and your representative there is too chicken shit, excuse my French, to show up, just go up, put a little cardboard cutout of them there, and then berate the cardboard cutout, and make sure to video it and post it on YouTube or social medias, things of this nature. Do it. That's how we're going to do it. And get everyone not riled up, but get everyone interested in voting, and make sure we vote and turn out in 2026. Hell, there's going to be some special elections coming up, and we might even have the majority back in the House by next November. Who knows? So let's not give up all hope. Let's not just totally, shroom out all the way till November. I mean, we got to keep our wits about us, But like I said, if you need some recreational time, then do it. Take a little rest here and there, but we're going to need everyone, all hands on deck. That's for sure. I'm just saying. All right, guys. Back to you, Trucker John. Thank you, Paul, the purple beard guy, and Tough Cookie. Special appearance. Hey, I want to say to all you guys here, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for, we got people in here that did some fan funding, thank you guys so much for that. Let me look, I can look real quick and we can say thank you properly, I guess. We've got, Chris Doug got us the goal. Goal of the day was a super sticker. Chris Doug coming in with the $4.99 super sticker. Thank you. Yippee, Big Dog gifted a membership. And I'm so glad that Brooklyn, our friend Brooklyn 471 got that one. So that was really cool. So thank you for that, helping out the show. Remember, keeping us going, supporting the show. Because where else are you going to get this kind of riveting, content? So thank you guys all so very much for being here. And for those that have subscribed, thank you so much. And if you haven't, then please hit the subscribe button. We want to get to 4K. I really want to see what a dandelion tastes like. I've never eaten one before. I've never eaten a dandelion in my life. So I'm looking forward to it. So let's get to 4K. Nick Rich just did a gifted a membership. Thank you. Yippee to Nick Rich. And Bonnie got it. Bonnie got that. So thanks for that. Non-user says Nazis will not replace us. I'm just skipping back. I kind of didn't see what was going on when Tough Cookie and Paul. I was listening. I was so wrapped in attention to Tough Cookie and Paul, the purple beard guy, that I didn't see what you guys were saying. But let's see. We're just talking about purple beard guy. Protest in Flint, Michigan. Flint have the cops joining in instead of arresting people. Awesome, Bonnie Thompson. Anyhow, so thanks guys so much for being here. Today's Tuesday, so our next regularly scheduled show will be Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific time, and then we'll do a House Parks pre-show hangout at about 3 p.m. Pacific time. As far as I know, Hal's schedule isn't changing. I think I don't know. You never know with Hal. He's busy doing stuff, but as far as I know, the schedule is the same. So we'll see you guys on Thursday at 3. Also Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And in the meantime, you guys just hang in there. We can get through this. We just got to be tough, man. It's tough. And I know it's hard because sometimes I'm down and I'm out. But we just got to help each other through it, help everybody along. So in the meantime, though, words of wisdom to help you get through till next Thursday. Here's some words of wisdom, all right? You might want to write this down. Paper, pen, write this down. Okay, guys, ready? So, just remember.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. We'll have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes. But if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant. But I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid. But doing this live stream, baby, has been a real kid. So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, it's time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again.
Trucker John, on the road he rides, live streaming all through the nights. From politics to pop culture, he speaks No topic is off limits, nothing is weak. From Vegas to the highways, he'll never tire. Shouting about food, talking about desire. He's the rebel of the asphalt, the king of the night. With a microphone in his hand, he's ready to ignite. Freedom is his fuel, passion in his soul. Gotta express himself, gotta take control. Moving through the country, keeping it real, no filter, no holding back, nothing to conceal. Rolling down the highway in my rusty old rig. I'm a retired trucker, but my spirit's still big. Living in Vegas, where the lights never sleep. Broadcasting my thoughts for the world to keep. From politics to pop culture, I've got it all. Sharing my views, no matter how big or small. Talking about food and movies and bugs, shining a light on all the social issues. No shows, I've driven through the desert, seen the city so bright. But now I'm living in a different kind of fight. From my apartment in Las Vegas, I hold the key, exploring the world through my live stream for free. For free.